Okay. All right, here we are. Okay, we're going to show you how you could, this thing here at the moment is actually an XREF, which means it's basically two separate drawings. So if I was to send this drawing to someone, I would have to send two drawings. You have to remember to do that. You either do that manually or you can do it through a program called eTransmit. Another way of doing it is to say, okay, well, the functionality of XREFing is not really required by this person that I'm going to send this thing to, or they don't know how to use XREFs or something like that. So, or you could do this for another reason. Sometimes what people do sometimes is that they bind their XREFs into one, so it's a record of what it looked like then. So it may be at the end of a stage or something like that, stage 1, stage 2, this is what it's going to look like. So that's archived as a record and it just gels it together basically as it binds it. So there's two different ways you can bind. Just as we had two different ways you can attach something. You can attach something as an attachment or as an overlay. Well, you can bind something as a bind or as an insert. So there you go. Okay, just remember this layering thing here. I just want to remind you of this, wherever this is. Here it is. Okay. And I just want to remind you of the layer naming, which is waking up in a second. Okay, so there we go. There's only one or two layers in this example, in this drawing, and there are a few other layers that are relating to the XREF. Okay, they're prefixed by the name of the file, and they've got that pipe symbol in between the name of the layer. Now, watch what happens to those layers when we bind it. Okay, so let me just minimize this by here, by the way, like that. And that should drop back, I hope. No, hang on. Now it's dropping back. It was alright before. Okay, so let's go to my external references here. I'll right click. And by the way, you can open it from here as well, not just from the ribbon as we showed you earlier. Now, let's go to bind. Click on bind. Now, do you want to bind it, it says, or do you want to insert it? Okay, they're both actually inserted. But the method that it comes in is basically what it does. One removes the layer, it removes the prefix of the file from the layer name. That's all it does. Okay, so if I go OK for a bind, okay, we have a look at the layers and look what happened. We can actually change them now. We can actually rename them. We can set them as current, which you couldn't before. Alright, so they're just for intensive purposes, this drawing now is inserted in here, and they're the individual layers. Let's have a look at the drawing here, see what we got. No, there's no external referencing as such. If we have a look at that there's no XREF in here anymore. That's gone. Okay, so if we have a look at this now, we should be able to. Looking at this. I should be able to get that's from the same layer. Turn off some layers. Let me think. Sorry. Let's see this one here. See, it's coming here. I can actually manipulate the layers, but it's actually, if I list it now, LR for list, it's actually a block called slab 10, which is what my file was. So it's still a block, but we can explode it just like any other block. We can X for explode, select this, enter. So now I can delete some parts or whatever I want to do to that. It's just in here now, so I can do whatever I like. Okay, so that's well and good to have that layer system like that, and that's usually handy. That may be handy for when let's just guess, you have, say, two stages that you have brought together. All right, so one drawing that is inserted in here is called stage 1, and that might have war dash brick. All right, stage 2 also has a war dash brick in it. Okay, you might want to, when you bind both of them into one drawing, you have in here a stage 1 $0, $0 war brick, and you also have a stage 2 $whatever war brick. They both may be the same color, or they might be a different color. It just means that you're maintaining the layering system, and you can manipulate those walls separately in the way of turning on and off, in the way of printing when it comes to printing them. Okay, so yeah, if I decided not to go the bind method and go the insert method, it will actually get rid of that name, that prefix of the file name from the front of the layer, which means layers that are the same, saying stage 1 wall dash brick, stage 2 wall dash brick, all right, they will merge into one. All right, so if wall dash brick, if the first one was a red wall, okay, and the next one was a pink wall, there will, and you found the first one, which is the red one, the pink wall will actually become red when you bind it as a second bind. All right, so well, an insert bind. Okay, so just small little sort of things to look at there. That's all. But let me just undo that. Let me just close that and start again. No, and just open up the file again. So here we'll do open. Alright, so here's the file, slightly like the same. So if we go xref here, which is open here, we can go right click, we can go bind. This time we're going to go insert and go OK. Alright, so we did that. Now look at the layering system here. Everything has, well, there's no prefix in any of them. Alright, so it's just this. It's a cleaner system actually, but it depends what you want to achieve out of it. It's still a block, so I still have to explode it if I was to manipulate it separately. But I can certainly turn the layers on and off. There's no problems. Even before I did that, I don't know what layer that was on, but just set that layer as current. Oops. Can't do that. That one current. If I just turn that off, I'm not sure what I turned off, but you can, that's a 3D solid layer, that's on layer sketch. I can turn off layer sketch, for example, and that goes off. You could do that before as well with the prefix anyway. Alright, so that's the two things there. Alright, so now we want to print this thing to DWF, so let's do that. Okay, got 4 minutes to do that, so let's do that. This is go any faster? No. Open it up again, afresh, like you would have it saying. Let's go down to here saying. Oops, let's not go that far. That won't do. Okay. Alright, so let's go to this one here is in the wrong world this here, so let's just print it off like that. So let's go, let's print this off. So it's plot, enter, or you can click here. Only consult layers exist in the drawing. The properties of the layers should be evaluated and whatever. All it's saying is, the question is view the list of, okay, it's asking me to have a look at the layer manager and make sure some new layers that have been created are okay and all the colors are right, and that's all. And once I've done that, it's happy to go. So let's go to plot again. Oh, I thought I did that. What's going on? Oh, there, this one's here, okay. Okay, let's go there. It should work now. Hopefully. What's going on? You got that as well? Okay. Visibility, isolate group. You know, you don't have to worry about any of that. Yeah, that's a teacher. He was nice. So let's go there, okay. It just highlighted all the layers that it thinks they're new, but I'm not sure why. I'll just leave that. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I'll just say no next time. And say no. That would do. It's just finding that something new has happened to this drawing since last time, basically. But anyway, let's go to here. Okay, this one here is compatible with the XPS viewer. We'll go with that one there. And alright, print it as big as you want, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go landscape here with the A4. Display, no, I'm just going to do a window. I'm just going to print that much of it, like that. And yeah, fit to paper, it's fine. It's just so we can do it. Basically, preview might look okay, but sometimes when you print it, it doesn't. It should come out like that. Theory. I can right click there and I can just go straight to plot if it looks alright, or I can go exit, say it wasn't right, I want it centered for example. Preview again, it's better, right click, plot. Alright, so it's asking me a name. I'll say that would, I'll call that Andreas or something like that. Okay, so it's Andreas under my documents, note where it's going, so you can find it later hopefully. Let's see what happens. So there it is. Okay, let's just have a look at my documents. There's Andreas. There. Alright, so I'll take that. Okay, funny enough, it worked out. Alright, so if I close that, what we got? Right click, open with, yeah, so okay, so that's that. So that can be e-transmitted in a minute. So we'll go through e-transmit in a second. For now, we'll just leave it there. And you can try the finding, inserting, and the DWFX whatever it is, blocking. Okay, so let's close that.